What if I told you there's a group of Japanese engines that laugh in the face of 300,000 miles? You might think I'm crazy, but these aren't just any engines. They're the stuff of legend, powering everything from humble pickups to fire-breathing sports cars. In this video, we're counting down the 9 most reliable Japanese engines ever made. These mechanical marvels have stood the test of time, outlasting their competitors and saving their owners thousands in repair bills. So get ready to discover why these engines just won't quit, even when they're pushed to their limits. Nissan L28E. Let's kick things off with a blast from the past that's still ticking today, the Nissan L28E. This straight 6 engine is like that old guy at the gym who's somehow outlasting all the young bucks. When it first hit the scene, nobody could have guessed it would still be running strong half a century later. And here's the thing, the L28E faced some serious hurdles. New engines were popping up left and right, and emission standards were getting tougher by the minute. But Nissan Straight 6 refused to throw in the towel. Why? Because it was built like a tank, with a cast iron block that could take a beating and keep on revving. This engine wasn't just tough, it was smooth as silk. That inline 6 configuration gave it the kind of balanced operation that made drivers fall in love. You find these beauties purring away in the iconic Datsun 280Z, turning heads on the street. But they weren't just for show, the rugged Nissan Patrol used them too, proving the L28E could handle whatever you threw at it. Now, you might think these engines would be the museum pieces by now, but here's the kicker. There are still plenty of L28Es out there, cruising the streets and racking up miles like it's nobody's business. It's like they didn't get the memo that they're supposed to be retired. Mitsubishi 4G63T. From old school reliability to modern day madness. What if I told you there's an engine out there that can handle 1000 horsepower while still being as dependable as your grandpa's old pickup? The Mitsubishi 4G63T isn't just an engine, it's a legend that refuses to quit. This 2.0 litre turbocharged beast changed the game when it burst onto the scene. It's like the superhero of engines. By day, it's your reliable daily driver, but give it some boost and it transforms into a fire-breathing monster. The secret? An iron block so tough it laughs in the face of high boost pressures. But here's where it gets crazy. The same engine that powered Mitsubishi to 4 back-to-back World Rally Championship titles is just as happy cruising to work every day. You'll find it in icons like the Lancer Evolution, where it proved that reliability and performance aren't mutually exclusive. Now you might think all this power comes at a cost, but here's the kicker. These engines often sail past 200,000 miles even when they've been modified to put out serious power. Sure, they need some TLC, regular oil changes and quality parts are a must, but treat it right and this engine will keep ticking long after others have thrown in the towel. Subaru EJ22. You thought 200,000 miles was impressive? Well, let me introduce you to an engine that laughs at that number. The Subaru EJ22 isn't just reliable, it's practically immortal. But how does an engine with such modest power become a legend of longevity? Well, here's the secret. It's all about that flat 4 layout. This design isn't just for show. It gives the car a lower center of gravity, making it stick to the road like glue. But that's not all. This flat layout makes maintenance a breeze, turning every DIY enthusiast into a backyard mechanic. The EJ22 isn't picky about where it works either. You'll find this versatile powerhouse in everything, from the nimble Impreza to the rugged Outback. It's like the Swiss Army knife of engines, ready for any challenge you throw at it. But here's the kicker. While other engines are gasping for air at 200,000 miles, the EJ22 is just warming up. These engines often cruise past 300,000 miles without breaking a sweat. It's not about raw power, it's about going the distance. Now, if you think that's impressive, wait till you hear about our next engine. It's time to supersize things and talk about a V6 that conquered continents. Toyota 5VZ FE. Forget continents, this engine conquered the world. The Toyota 5VZ FE isn't just another V6, it's the secret weapon that powered some of the most iconic off-road vehicles ever made. But here's the real kicker. While it was designed for the toughest terrains on Earth, you might have driven one without even realizing it. How did this powerhouse become the ultimate sleeper engine? This 3.4-litre beast is like the Navy SEAL of engines, tough, versatile, and ready for anything. Toyota threw everything they had at this V6, including forged steel connecting rods that could probably survive a nuclear blast. But it's not all brute force. The dual overhead cam design and advanced timing system make sure it's as smooth on the highway as it is crawling over boulders. You'll find this engine in legends like the Tacoma, the 4Runner, and even the mighty Land Cruiser. It's the heart that keeps these off-road monsters ticking, whether you're commuting to work or conquering the Sahara. And here's the crazy part. These engines often cruise past 300,000 miles like it's nothing, even in the harshest conditions imaginable. But if you think this V6 is impressive, wait till you hear about our next engine. It's time to shift gears and talk about an engine that revs so high it'll make your head spin. Honda K-Series, K20 and K24. You thought high-revving engines couldn't last? Well, think again. Honda's K-Series doesn't just spin fast, it spins for ages. Ever wonder how an engine can scream to 8,000 RPM and still cruise past 200,000 miles? The answer might shock you. Meet Honda's modern masterpiece, the K-Series. This engine isn't just a power plant, it's a shapeshifter. Whether it's the peppy 2.0-litre K20 or the torquey 2.4-litre K24, these engines are built to perform and endure. But how can an engine that revs to the moon still be so reliable? Well, the secret lies in Honda's legendary VTEC system. It's like having two engines in one. At low RPMs, it sips fuel for your daily commute, but push the pedal down and it transforms into a high-performance beast. This flexibility doesn't just make the K-Series fun to drive, it's a key to its longevity. You'll find K-Series engines in everything from the practical CR-V to the fire-breathing Civic Type R. And here's the kicker, these engines often sail past 200,000 miles without breaking a sweat, still ready to hit that red line. But if you think this high-revving Honda is impressive, wait till you hear about our next engine. It's time to step up to the world of luxury and talk about a V8 that redefines smoothness. Toyota 1UZ FE. From high-revving Hondas, we're shifting gears to something entirely different. What if I told you there's an engine that combines the reliability of a Toyota with the refinement of a Lexus, and it's tough enough for boats and race cars? The 1UZ FE isn't just an engine, it's an engineering flex that's still turning heads decades later. The V8 beast is the definition of over-engineered. Toyota threw everything they had at it, including 6-bolt main bearings and a forged steel crankshaft. It's like they built it to survive the apocalypse. But here's the kicker. This engine wasn't made for some rugged off-roader. It was designed for Lexus's top-of-the-line luxury sedans. The 1UZ FE is so smooth, you could balance a coin on it at idle. That's not just a party trick, it's a sign of incredible engineering. This silky smooth operation made it perfect for the LS400, but Toyota didn't stop there. They stuffed this V8 into everything from boats to race cars, proving it could handle way more than just cruising down the highway. But the real magic of the 1UZ FE, it just won't quit. With proper care, these engines often cruise past the 400,000 mile mark like it's nothing. It's not uncommon to hear about 1UZ FE still purring away with minimal issues, long after other engines have given up the ghost. Now, if you think this luxurious V8 is impressive, wait till you hear about our next engine. We're about to take a step back in time and talk about a simpler design that's become a legend in its own right. Toyota 22R 22RE. Remember when we said simple is sometimes better? Toyota took that idea and ran with it. The 22R and 22RE engines are so basic you think they came from the Stone Age. But here's the twist. These prehistoric power plants are outlasting modern marvels. How is that even possible? Meet Toyota's dynamic duo of durability, the 22R and 22RE. These engines are the automotive equivalent of a cockroach, surviving everything from scorching deserts to frozen tundras. What's their secret? Well, it's all about keeping things simple. No fancy variable valve timing, no complicated turbochargers, just good old-fashioned engineering that gets the job done. Now you might be wondering what sets these two apart. The 22R is the OG, rocking a carburetor like it's still the 70s. But in 1982, Toyota decided to give it an upgrade. Enter the 22RE, sporting fuel injection for better efficiency and a bit more oomph. But don't worry, they kept all the bulletproof bits that made the original a legend. These engines didn't just power a few models, they conquered the globe. You'd find them in everything from rugged Hilux pickups to tough-as-nails 4Runners. Whether you were hauling gear on a construction site or exploring the outback, the 22R and 22RE had your back. And here's the kicker, these engines don't just hit 300,000 miles, they blow right past it. With basic maintenance, they keep chugging along when other engines have long since called it quits. It's like they've got a personal vendetta against the junkyard. Now, if you think these workhorses are impressive, just wait till you hear about our next engine. We're about to dial things up to 11 with a high-performance beast that's as tough as it is fast. Nissan RB26D. What if I told you there's an engine out there that can handle triple its stock horsepower and still be used as a daily driver? Sounds impossible, right? Well, Nissan's got a little secret called the RB26D, and it's about to change everything you thought you knew about high-performance reliability. The 2.6-litre twin-turbo monster is the beating heart of the legendary Skyline GTR. But here's the crazy part, it's not just built for speed, it's built to last. Nissan went all out with this one, cramming it full of forged internals and a bulletproof block that can take a serious beating. The RB26D didn't just dominate the street, it owned the track. This engine powered the Skyline GTR to so many victories in touring car racing that it earned the nickname Godzilla. But unlike the movie monster, this beast is as reliable as it is powerful. And here's where it gets wild. Even when tuners crank these engines up to double or triple their stock horsepower, they still keep ticking. With some basic maintenance and a watchful eye on those boost levels, these engines often cruise past 200,000 miles like it's nothing. Now, if you think this Godzilla of engines is impressive, just wait till you hear about our final contender. We're about to meet the king of Japanese engineering, an engine so legendary it's in a class all of its own. Toyota 2JZ GTE. Remember when 1000 horsepower seemed impossible? Toyota laughed at that limit. The 2JZ GTE doesn't just break records, it shatters expectations. But here's the kicker, this monster can also be your reliable daily driver. So how did Toyota pull off this engineering miracle? Well, it all starts with a cast iron block so tough it could probably survive a direct meteor strike. Toyota didn't just build an engine, they created a legend that refuses to die. Stock, this 3.0-litre inline-six puts out a respectable 320 horsepower. But that's just the beginning of the story. The real magic happens when tuners get their hands on it. With its robust oil system and overbuilt internals, the 2JZ GTE can handle power levels that would turn other engines into paperweights. We're talking 4-digit horsepower numbers with minimal internal mods. It's like Toyota left the door wide open for tuners to go crazy. But it's not all about raw power. The sequential twin-turbo setup delivers power smoother than a fresh jar of peanut butter. This combination of strength and refinement made the 2JZ GTE the heart of the iconic Toyota Supra Mk4, a car that's become more than just a vehicle, it's a cultural phenomenon. So there you have it, 9 Japanese engines that just won't quit. From the bulletproof simplicity of the Toyota 22R to the mind-bending power potential of the 2JZ GTE. These power plants share some common threads, overbuilt internals, smart engineering, and a focus on longevity that have made them legends in their own right. But here's a thought that'll keep you up at night. As we move towards electric vehicles, will we ever see this level of reliability again? Can the principles that made these engines so durable be applied to electric motors and battery packs? Well, we want to hear from you. Have you owned any of these unbreakable engines? What's your take on the future of automotive reliability? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation revving.